Welcome everyone back to NRE Wrestlverse Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Brown of NRE Wrestlverse, the Wrestleverse, us, Neo Reality Collective, and host and creator of Neo Reality Entertainment. And, oh god, some of the worst kept secrets in wrestling have finally been unveiled. WBD, following months of rumors, finally decided to announce that they're at their big upfront event. The announcement of AEW Collision set to debate on June 17th, but notice that there is no confirmed venue for that show yet, even though they've confirmed other venues for the rest of the show. I even got the press release PDF file from the AEW press since I am on the list, so that was cool. AEW Collision. TNT launches a second night of wrestling with AEW Collision, featuring headliners such as Thunder Rosa, Miro, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Andrade El Idolo on Saturday, June 17th. In only 4 years following the launch of AEW Dynamite, AEW's footprint has been more than doubled across TNT and TBS, along with Dynamite, Friday Night's Rampage, and the recent follow doc, All Access, and now Collision. TNT and TBS delivers the best matches and most entertaining moments in professional wrestling today. AEW has reached a total of 23 million viewers so far this year across all its shows on TBS and TNT. And I would like to say that we should also account streaming platforms, but you know we gotta ignore all that logic. We're doubling down on wrestling on AEW Collision, which gives fans more than 2 hours every week, since Jason Solaris, president of Turner Networks ID and HLN, linear and streaming networks. AEW's roster talent is expanded so quickly that we felt it needed to add another night to bring our audience to epic rivalries, unforgettable matches, and stars they love to watch. Adding Collision to our programming mix on TNT will allow us to satisfy the massive demand we felt from our hardcore fan base and be the ultimate complement to AEW Dynamite on TBS. With the addition of Collision on TNT, I'm extremely proud that our Turner Network will be the home of Saturday Night Wrestling for the first time in more than 2 decades. I would say Saturday Night Main Event from WWE counts, but at the same time, I think they're talking about consistently. The debate of Collision is significant across numerous sectors, including television, wrestling, entertainment, and sports, and reinforces AEW as a bold property as we envisioned when we launched in 2019. Collision will deliver every Saturday night more than what fans and viewers tell us they want. Athleticism, big personalities, exciting storylines, and hard-hitting wrestling action, all which have become synonymous with AEW. The head of AEW, Tony Khan, said. So yeah, I am hyped for this. And Andrade El Idolo being back was a surprise considering the drama that happened where he was allegedly trying to get fired. And yeah, I'm glad to see everyone's back. We still don't know the details of the big roster split that keeps getting rumored around. In fact, it keeps changing constantly to the point that it feels like Elon Musk and Twitter, how he handles things. Like one minute Dave Meltzer would just go ahead and say it will be a hard brand split, distinctive roster, distinctive storylines, and content creators. Will be part of the new brand split. Oh, no, wait. It will be a soft brand split where everyone will be able to shift around between programming. Nope. We don't know what we're doing here. So yeah, and I'll get to the journalistic side of everything going on recently at the very end. They even announced locations. They announced that the first episode will be announced on Wednesday, this coming Dynamite. The June 24th episode will take place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In fact, they're taking a lot of the Canadian shows in that week. In fact, the first time they're going to have a show in the States, besides probably June 17th, is the July 22nd edition of Collision at Newark, New Jersey. And I like how Powerhouse Hobbs is now up there with Samoa Joe, El Idolo, Miro, and Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa is still dealing with back issues, so I get the feeling. Okay, this is what I thought. I thought in Thunder Rosa when she came back, either some big thing happened that she was cleared, or she was going to be used as a fish on an authority figure thing, because Tony Khan does show up from time to time on Dynamite, so he's probably thinking, okay, we got to delegate a little bit of authority figures for Collision. And the logo even came out. And I was like, two things. One, awesome. And two, I'm surprised WWE let this go through, considering how much they took from WCW Monday Nitro. Early graphics for Collision will be influenced by WCW Monday Nitro, according to Fightful Select, the series from World Championship Wrestling, which aired from TNT from 95 to 2001 when WCW was bought by WWE. And the nature of the brand split is currently unclear, last we heard, but yeah, there's still a huge debate going on what's going on over that, and I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer isn't helping stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it was keeping up to how the brand split has been changing up and down, left and right, and whatnot. The roster, it was Dave Meltzer also said that that the roster split is not expected to affect the women's division, as it felt there were not enough depth to keep the women on different shows. Okay, I can actually agree with that because they haven't pushed it. The only titles, and here's the thing about the brand split, if they go forward for a hard brand split, I'm hoping that the champions at the very least can like go to, you know, operate on different, can float around between both shows, you know, keep things consistent. I feel like the only title that would quote be exclusive to TBS and TNT are the TBS women's title and the TNT title. That's the only, because let's be real, it's still frustrating to see a TBS title being defended on TNT and the TNT title being defended on TBS, even though they're right freaking there. And plus, Rampage needs some more exclusive feuds to make it, and better timing to go ahead and work out. But yeah, I have been excited to hear this stuff going on, and I'm hoping things work out. We'll hear more about it, but yeah, one of the things that also came out that rumors have suggested that the AEW TV deal will be worth $1 billion, but estimates don't appear to have been that high enough. According to Wade Keller of PW Torch, AEW's new deal is expected to be approximately $240 million per year over 5 years, bringing a total sum of $1.2 billion. On average, the deal will bring $4.6 million a week for AEW. My God. And along with Collision, Keller noted that the expectation is a content agreement between AEW and the Max Stream platform, where it will be announced. Speculation has suggested that AEW All In could air on Max in the United States to avoid the promotion running 2 pay-per-views in 7 days. Yeah, I'm hoping they make that announcement soon, because damn it, I want to see All In on the Max service, or whatever it's going to be the hell called. Meanwhile, insider account Better Wrestling Experience wrote on Twitter that they plan to fill the huge void that Roman will leave soon with other huge names, because Roman Reigns is expected to work even fewer dates this year than he did previously. It's looking more and more like you should have let Cody finish the story, goddammit. But, can't fix this now, it's too late. We're passing the 1,000-day sale. We're passing the 1,000-day reign, so I hope you live with that. So, yeah, I'm still annoyed with that. Like, you had an opportunity to finish the story, now you just want to keep it stretched out even further artificially now. I'm annoyed with it. I'm like, I've heard the argument why it's a good thing Roman's not defending every pay-per-view, but at the same time, it's like, here's the thing, I don't like it because here's the thing, when it comes to back then when Hogan was champion, or Bruno Sammartino and Billy Graham and all those people who held the title for thousands of days, or in Bruno Sammartino's case for nearly a decade, well actually, but here's the thing, the system was very different compared to wrestling now. People want a more consistent product. Like, we're not saying oversaturate Roman. I think people wanted, like, this is the problem I had with Brock Lesnar when he was champion. At first it started out well, then it deteriorated because he was gone for way more than one pay-per-view. Like, if he wanted to take a 1 month pay-per-view break, fine. But then it starts stretching out like, oh, well, Brock Lesnar's set for Night of Champions. Okay, now he's going to be gone for 2 to 3 months. Now he's coming back for Royal Rumble, and he'll be gone for another 2 months. until WrestleMania, and then he'll be gone for another 3 months. And it's reason why I still hate the fact Brock Lesnar had the Universal title reign for 500 days, because I hated it, like, so much. Oh, God. Because clearly they were saving it for Roman and keeping it warm for Roman, but yeah, we know how that worked out. But it just got so much stretched out that there was not enough content for people to just to feel like they could justify the amount of times. Like, the triple threat match with Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar, like, everyone before that was already sick of Brock Lesnar being champion for so long and not defending it for so long. But the moment he does this match, everyone's like, oh, let's have Brock Lesnar hold the title even longer. And I'm like that guy that's like, he just sat at the floor for like half of the match and then came back at the last minute. Does no one see the problem here? Which is why I went with the term lazy Lesnar and whatnot. For a while, because I'm not saying he doesn't do enough work in the wrestling ring. I just feel like when the storyline requires him to be out of the ring for more than half the match or a good chunk of the match and let everyone else do the work, it just annoyed me, because it's like, can we just get that? I kind of miss old Brock Lesnar from the olden days, where he would do more matches and do more crazy stunts. Like, I know he's older from those days, but like I feel like he could still work on a consistent schedule. But that's just my opinion on the whole thing. It just really annoyed me when part-timers were really having a chokehold monopoly on the world titles, and now we're back at this again. But back to things. Tony Khan on the Maggie and Perloff show, Tony Khan decided to reveal, yes, I was interested in purchasing WWE before he gave his about how he was interested in that. I mean, it sounded cool. Then you think about it for more than 10 seconds and realize, oh, that's a stupid idea to have another monopoly form around. Like, I get why Tony Khan would have been interested, but at the same time, no one else wanted that. But Tony Khan did come out and say that WWE's sale to Endeavor and the upcoming merger with the UFC is going to be a huge positive for professional wrestling, saying this: I can't speak to that except to say that I was interested. It will be also very interesting to see what happens with that sale. Certainly, in many ways, it's a big positive for pro wrestling business, and I think a huge attendance numbers in TV and streaming numbers for pro wrestling and the great sales for AEW on pay-per-view and all the big merchandising numbers show that professional wrestling is really back as an industry in many major ways in 2023, and AEW is a big part of that conversation. That's all been really positive for us. Wait, but I was told AEW was out to destroy the WWE and that they will burn them to the ground and record profits are coming, and oh wait, but streaming's mentioned, but the Nielsen ratings doesn't reflect that. That doesn't count, even though every other corporation tends to use it nowadays. But that doesn't count. See, tribalism sucks. We'll get to that. But, yeah. Also, AEW has a little bit of a trouble on them. Apparently, they're being accused of creating AI-generated t-shirts. AEW Games revealed 3 video game-related t-shirts on April 26th on Twitter, and the tweet was immediately lampooned with replies, with Silva pointing out the designs look like they've been made by an AI art generator. Pace Magazine spoke to wrestling merch designers and artists who criticized the company's decision to allegedly use AI for producing their merch. Upon being approached by the designers, AEW said, "We will not be providing comment at this time." Wrestling artist Lindsay Ray stated some of the giveaways they spotted on the Kenny Omega shirt suggested it had been produced by an AI art generator, saying this: "The first thing I think to look for with a potential AI portrait is its likeness of the subject. I don't think this looks like Kenny Omega for starters. The shape of his nose, the shape of his lips is all very generic and undefined. An artist will know how to capture the contour of someone's facial features. That's what makes a face uniquely theirs. The biggest giveaway is the left eye, the bottom eyelid split in several web pieces. Is this flesh striations? Are there computer cards? It's ambiguous enough that any detractors can say it's objective, but it has no logic. Just like where the game controller engraved with the nonsense, look at the random buttons and type, meets with his head. Also look how wonky the pupil and irises are. Look at the top eyelid, it's just a dark red line that breaks up and extends over the nose. Clothing is another big giveaway for these. Look at how little sense that jacket collar makes. There's a spiral on the left lower right hand side, but what looks like a portable hard drive. Had this been made by a human, there would be at least a monochrome of logic behind this. What is that part growing out of the top of his head? The haired wires. Look how it melts together on the left. The directions make no sense. It follows no logic. Are bad enough. But then there's the piece of presumably some fake imitation of cyberpunk headgear. Presumably some poor intern had to Photoshop AEW Games text and has an AI still incapable of making text and images for now. The designs of Evil Uno and Amco were also criticized. Angie, an artist who helped create the designs for MJF, hoped AEW would listen to the criticism. Merchants and media showcases your community of what you love. AI artists antithesis of that. I hope AEW listens to the criticism and continues to invest in artists that are inspired by their product. I still say we should hire Cubby Wrestling wallpaper, but that's just me. Look, I haven't seen the shirts for myself. It is kind of fucked up. AEW could, according to these artists, could more than likely be using AI generated things. Like for me, AI operates like this. AI can be, it does have a place, mostly from my perspective, as memes and shit posts, or if you wanted to make a parody video of somebody, and give a disclaimer that this is AI, like Devil Artemis' Yu-Gi-Oh duel against Cell, Perfect Cell thing, but like doing it like that, I don't agree with doing it like that. That's just highway robbery. I feel like it just makes it cheaper, lazier. I honestly expected WWE to do this, honestly, at this point. Surprisingly, they haven't, but I'll give them credit for that. But we'll wait in a little bit. Meanwhile, so that whole internal chart revealing about faces and heels, who were the top faces and heels of Raw and SmackDown. We now have also got a report from PW Insider Elite that has shed some light on what the main roster's men's tag team division looks like, with the following standings reportedly being used by WWE. On SmackDown, the list of face teams is the Brawling Brutes, the LWO, Latino World Order, Together We Can Do This, Street Profits and the OC. SmackDown's heel tag teams are the Usos, Pretty Deadly, and Hit Row. So, 4 against 3. Yeah, that sounds stupid, doesn't it? Though this is the Usos, and they are portrayed as the most powerful force of tag team until they got their asses kicked by Roman. As for the Raw side, the top faces of WWE Raw's tag team is KO and Sami Zayn, as expected. The New Day, Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Still the most weirdest tag team I've seen this year. And Alpha Academy. Raw's men heel tag teams are the Judgment Day, Imperium, the Viking Raiders, Maximum Male Models, Angel Garza, as he once was called, and Humberto, and Indira Shear. I do not know half of those tag teams. I didn't even know Angel and Humberto were still a tag team. So that's saying something. Also, Savio Vega, who had made a shocking return to wrestling with joining the LWO with Carlito and saving Bad Bunny from a Judgment Day beatdown during the event. The success was so many that fans are hoping will produce televised content for the territory on a more regular basis. But Vega himself revealed he has spoken about WWE about making it happen, saying this: "Well, I talked to Triple H, but with the UFC merger, it's hard right now. He told me that we are going to talk again anytime soon. We don't know, of course, sometime next year." He also reveals hopes that he hopes to form a working relationship specifically between WWE and IWA, an indie promotion that in Puerto Rico, a move that would not be beyond the realms of possibility due to working arrangement WWE has held with the likes of Progress, ICW, Evolve, and WXW. You mentioned Evolve. How's Evolve these days? How's the UK scene? Does everyone just forget? Does all the promoters just forget and move on from the whole WWE has a scorched earth mentality when it comes to worker partnerships. One of the reasons why people were worried when MLW was given an offer by WWE, hey, you want to partner up? We're definitely not going to screw you over or anything. Like, that's how this works for WWE. When they make deals like this, the UK scene got completely decimated. Then Speaking Out killed it for a good chunk of time. They're slowly making their way back, but the damage was really inflicted, especially when they closed down NXT UK, which was like the central hub where WWE loved it at. Then they were trying to make NXT Europe, and nothing's come out from that stuff. So the global localization plan might have failed, even when they're trying to make NXT South America or NXT Mexico. So, yeah. I just trying to wonder what goes through people's heads when they feel like, hey, we should partner up with WWE. They're definitely not going to screw us, potentially. Yeah, they probably will. So, moving on from my ranting on that, Rhea Ripley has come out on the Pete Rosenberg on Cheap Heat podcast, and she wants to see the group continue for as long as possible as a long-term faction in WWE. My God. Saying this, yeah, I really wanted to go as long as it could go. I'm loving every single minute of work when the boys are there. I think that we could really drag it out and have it go for a long time. At the end of the day, yes, we have the most random group of people. We have an Irishman, a Puerto Rican, a Mexican, and an Australian. And Frankie, strip on the Bobby. But we click so well, it feels so strange when I'm at work, and I know that the boys aren't there. Like when I was going to SmackDown for a little bit and they weren't there, they were at the UK tour, and I was like, I don't know how to act right now. I miss my family, I miss my boys. I miss my Dom as well, who I also have a submissive relationship with. And I'm probably making Buddy Matthews jealous for that. You're cool with that, buddy, right? I got kicked out of the arena when they spotted me on camera. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Anyways, that was a joke. So I really want to see progress and grow, and if we get new members, we get new members. But I want to see the Judgment Day become this massive faction in WWE that is still unstoppable, and I think we can accomplish that. At the end of the day, I want to see my boys for championships while I hold mine. I'm still on the opinion that had WrestleMania went very differently, my biggest criticism for WrestleMania this year would have been you should have had all the Judgment Day matches on night 1 and have all the Bloodline matches on night 2 to showcase Judgment Rises, Bloodline Falls kind of thing. Like Judgment Day becoming the next big faction in WWE as the Bloodline declines and destroys itself. But no, we're not getting that. Now we're in this limbo state. I'm like, they're teasing a new member for the Judgment Day, a 5th member, but we'll see. Meanwhile, WWE is planning to run an international pay-per-view on September 2nd. The location and name of the event has not been revealed. Recent reports have indicated WWE is serious about holding another major show in Australia, and company officials recently traveled there for talks. Any event that the city could be co-promoted with a local tourism board akin to Backlash in Puerto Rico and Clash of the Castle and Rails. Because renting out an arena is just so expensive for WWE of all fucking places. Meanwhile, Carmelo Hayes, being the new NXT champion, has decided to go on after the bell and reveal his campaign promises as part of his demands. I, Carmelo Hayes, I demand that I vow to be your NXT champion, and if I win, I will bring back the black and gold style matches. Yeah, let's go! Let's fucking go! So this is what he said on After the Bell, really. One of the things I noticed, there's so many studs still left on the roster, so many good guys that, can have that black and gold era type style that people always say that they miss and they want back. So I look forward to having those types of matches with those guys. There's so many. You got Dijakovic, Dragon Lee, Dragunov, Tyler Bate, Wesley still. I know I'm forgetting names, but there's so many good guys on that roster. I'm like, there are other names, but they got fired. God damn it, how do you screw up Keith Lee so badly? I just want to have some great matches with all of them during this reign and see who's willing and who can dethrone me at this point. But yeah, I just want to bring back good, solid wrestling to the NXT show. Not that there's not that, but there's a lot of people learning how to get their feet wet, and then there's guys who are willing to go out and kill it. And I think I'm one of those guys that want to go out and kill it. Yes. So, here's my opinion. How about, just be a mix of both? Like, the younger, greener talent can do the NXT Rainbow style vomit gimmick. Yeah, I still don't like the coloring. And we get the main events to be the black and gold style matches, and you have a full house of multi-variety. Right? Anyways, AEW World Champion MJF showed up at Creative Pro Wrestling's homecoming event on Saturday, May 13th in New York. And a match happened last minute between MJF and the Son of Sons, Leo Sparrow, much to the delight of the fans in the attendance. And MJF was playing a face in this segment. Freeman was full of praise for the Creative Pro Wrestling match after the match, telling the fans in attendance that he wouldn't be where he is today without Brian Myers and Pat Buck, who run the promotion and it's a wrestling school. Other Creative Pro Wrestling graduates include Matt Caster, Smart Mark Sterling, Bronson of the Iron Savages, and Chris Statlander. The fact that MJF can actually be genuinely honest with people and being a face, like, here's the thing. The idea of MJF as a face, that's kind of hard to imagine, I'm certain for people, but, like, the foundation is there. The foundation can be there for MJF to turn face down the road if he ever wanted to. I definitely think he could make it work. It's going to be taking some getting used to for people, but I feel like he could make it work. Speaking of talented people on microphones especially, Bray Wyatt is not listed on the internal roster for some reason. Fightful Select had to come out and explain why that is. Fightful explained that Bray is missing from WWE's internal list due to illness, the same illness that he has reportedly been dealing with for months, and that the superstar himself has been hopeful in wanting a return, but there's no update on his health and status. The report also confirms that Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, is still with WWE, but his career plan has been on hold while Wyatt remains sidelined. Bray disappeared from the screens during the run-up to WrestleMania when he was in the midst of feud building with a match with Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley then didn't even show up, and he didn't even get to appear on either night for WrestleMania to fight. Like, he showed up in the back, he showed up to celebrate his Andre the Giant win, but from SmackDown the night prior, but yeah, that didn't really work out because he was still reportedly pissed. Heck, he even like tweets that said that the whole he's pissed off kind of thing. So, yeah, speaking of people who should be rightfully pissed off over broken promises and whatnot and being screwed out of opportunities here, Seth Rollins was spotted on the set of Captain America New World Order. The former Universal Champion has been spotted on the set of Captain America New World Order in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's speculated that Rollins will play a member of the Serpent Society, rumored to be the villain for the fourth movie. If they don't have him do his laugh, I will be disappointed already. So yeah, Seth Rollins is in Captain America New World Order, so he's clearly going to be a member of the Serpent Society, which makes sense considering he is a snake at times. He's even set to miss Raw this Monday, which I'm pretty certain is not going to piss anyone off, right? Well, when it came out that Seth Rollins was on the set of Captain America, apparently A Worked Wrestling reported that Seth Rollins' segment for last night was pre-taped due to the filming with Marvel, and after it was spotted that he was set for that, now it's been coming out that WWE is now hesitant to make him world champion because Hollywood sucks. You know, this pissed me off a lot because it's like, look, I get from this perspective, but you had to have known this in advance he was part of this, and you still booked him. So why are you now hesitant to now suddenly when it came out? Like, now, to be fair, A report did later come out that WWE is now more confident than ever to give him the world title, but the fact that there's now an argument that could be made that Seth could lose at Night of Champions and lose the Raw exclusive branded belt to the SmackDown AJ Styles when they haven't even figured out what to do with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair's current title reigns, because they're still the champions of the opposite freaking brand. I'm trying to wonder what the hell's going on. And they still haven't come to a decision yet on that. So AJ Styles still has a chance, and he might be and if he does, Karrion Kross is going to fight him first. So, yeah. So, during SmackDown, while the logo did not appear on SmackDown or in later YouTube clips, Bad Bunny wore a hoodie emblazoned with the old WWF scratch logo used from 98 to 2002. And despite doing that, there has been no change in the Wildlife Fund stance of WWE use of their old logo. And Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer noted that Bad Bunny got away with wearing the hoodie because basically nobody wanted to tell him not to. Yeah. So WWE was willing to risk a fucking colossal lawsuit potential with the Wildlife Fund. I'm like, granted, they use NFTs, so clearly that's not going to happen. So clearly they're not really about the wildlife preservation. The scratch logo and whatnot, they risked a potential shitstorm because no one had the balls, no one had the cojones to tell Bad Bunny, yeah, could you not wear that with the logo or at least cover it up? I like, they'll give them credit, they were that brazen to do it, but still. So let's get into the pissed off moment of Saudi Arabia, because my god, we had to talk about that freaking event. So Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are going to challenge Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Oh, damn it. Okay. The very fact that we're now getting the possibility of Roman 4 belts pisses everyone off. And that this could end the thing and whatnot. And Sami Zayn is now accepting blood money. I have a personal substantial problem with this, but that's just my opinion. But here's the thing that came out. According to Dave Meltzer and even International Politics News, the reason why Kevin and Sami are now going, I'm like, Kevin decided that if Sami's going to go, he'll go too, even though that's a stupid idea. Apparently because Saudi Arabia has recently opened up relationships with Syria again recently, and the Arab League voted to reinstate Syria's membership, and the Syrians are once again allowed to travel to Saudi Arabia. Here's the way I'm looking at it. WWE has let Saudi Arabia turn Sami Zayn into from the most popular face and most organically composed wrestler of their company in years to political branding points for international politics. That's literally what you've just done. You've turned Sami Zayn into a bargaining political tool. And here's the thing, I know, okay, some people have argued that Sami Zayn will be perfectly alright because they love him and whatnot, but, I still have my worry because, even though the governments of Syria and Saudi Arabia are once again being all buddy-buddy a little bit more, it's still, over a decade of issues between the two companies since 2011, and the whole tension and propaganda doesn't just magically go away. If that was the case, then the world would be in a much better state. But yeah, I have my concerns for Sami, but we'll have to hope for the best. So, several WWE superstars, according to Fightful Select, have been given more flexibility in their promos recently, such as with the recent feud between Karrion Kross and Shinsuke Nakamura. So, yeah, one of the most glaring differences between modern WWE and early periods of the promotion's history is the feel of promo segments and whatnot. Over the years, fans have noticed the increased tightening of restrictions. This recent rule potentially indicates a change under the stewardship of Triple H, who currently oversees the creative day-to-day basis. Vince McMahon still being the head, having returned to that position following the Endeavor sale and large overseas. But, yeah, they went ahead and revealed that guys like Cody Rhodes and other people are given the flexibility to do their promos more. Yay! Also, according to Better Wrestling Experience, aka Boozer Wrestling, yeah, Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are set to receive, or slated to receive a major push following the upcoming Night of Champions event, and in the build to Money in the Bank after they reform DIY. It is unknown when Ciampa will return, but the Raw after the Night of Champions on May 29th is considered a logical date. The report comes after The Way reunited on last week's edition, and Gargano told the group that someone would be coming back soon and it would be great for the stable. Gargano did not directly state who it was, but Candice LeRae disagreed with her husband, suggesting it was Tommaso Ciampa they were talking about. My God. WWE does have big plans for the faction, and Tommaso Ciampa coming back will no doubt cause issues. But DIY coming back would be pretty freaking awesome. Also, according to them, WWE is also considering adding a new member to join the force of Imperium. And they have the current wrestler Dragunov being eyed to join Imperium later down the road. Now, I have mixed opinions about that. He's currently part of the NXT roster, but is eventually rumored to make his way to the main event scene of main rosterville. I have a considerable worriness because this was also, and I must stress, this was an unverified claim at the time from the unverified sources, that WWE was looking to strip Dragunov of the title of the NXT UK title. Oh, not because of if he was hurt or not at the time. No, he was still wrestling. No. There was the unverified claim saying that he was going to be stripped of the title because the sins of Russia must fall onto the sins of its people, even though there are many who disagree with the war. The very fact that was a possible conversation going on at the time, I like to say, we don't know what the hell they're thinking of, and also, did WWE just, and if this was true, did WWE just casually forget how they exploited the whole Russia stuff with Lana and Rusev? That duo before the horrible love storyline they did. Yeah, but Dragunov joining Imperium, like, I can't see it. Like, they have a history, so I could imagine that Walter would want to have him. I would only think this would happen if Volta and whatnot were to have a needed help to take on the Bloodline. But Walter, aka Gunther, said that he's not interested in rushing into a program with Roman, especially since Roman is still on the power of authority. So they're still on that. So, also, insider account, Better Wrestling Experience, that WWE has almost confirmed several names for the pay-per-view event for the Money in the Bank ladder match coming up. Per BWE, the names scheduled to compete for the briefcase are Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, and LA Knight. The account added other names that are being discussed for the bout, such as Cody Rhodes, Walter, Chad Gable, and Balor and Edge. Drew McIntyre was previously advertised the event, but no longer is. Now, I can see LA Knight be. I'm pretty sure this is accurate, more than likely, especially LA Knight, because he was also rumored a month ago that he could also be the winner for the Money in the Bank contract, which would be freaking awesome to see what he does with it. Yeah. But yeah, and Better Wrestling Experience also decided to comment about Night of Champions, about how a title might change hands at Night of Champions, and the former champion will then move on to a bigger path in his career. Which title has not been revealed yet. Please. Now, this could be Austin Theory, but he won Money in the Bank and then lost the cash into a mid-card title because Triple H had a hatred for Austin Theory, being a Vince McMahon guy, probably. That's just my guess, though. That's just funny. But yeah, I don't know. So, WWE has very strong opinions for Solo Sikoa and Volta. According to insider account Wrestleverse via Give Me Sport, noted that the company believes Gunther and Solo Sikoa, Volta and Solo Sikoa, are going to be the main event heels for the next decade. WWE feels like they have a bona fide main event heels for the next 10 years on the roster already, and they're going to treat them as such. I'm sure you can figure those two guys out, but the impression so far is that Volta and Solo Sikoa have made are putting those two guys on the front of the line for the next 10 years. My God. Plus, the ring general is set to fight Mustafa Ali at Night of Champions, so let's hope he keeps that title. And he's also he's only close to 100 days short of the Honky Tonk Man's record-setting reign. I'm a Honky Tonk Man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm dead. Mostly because Walter is gonna chop him in the chest and he's gonna bleed, and Bryan Danielson's gonna rip his shirt open and scream out. But I did recall hearing a few months ago that because of Ric Flair's stupidity of coming back and doing a match, or that was a complete disaster, Honky Tonk Man wants to come back and do something. So, if WWE wants to, they could just have Walter come in and, you know, grab Honky Tonk Man's guitar and smash it over the head with it while he poses with the IC title, just to justify that he's better than him now. So, also, CNBC have confirmed that the WWE and UFC merged company will be named the TKO Group Holdings, and the organization will trade on the New York Stock Exchange as TKO. The name is a reference to technical knockout, the fighting term in boxing, mixed martial arts, and pro wrestling on very rare occasions. It was announced on the morning of May 3rd that WWE had been sold to Endeavor, and yada yada yada. It emerged that this week that the 59-49 split was conditional on Vince McMahon renewing WWE. Endeavor initially offered a 57-43 split to merge WWE and UFC. The merger is scheduled to be completed in the second half of 2023. When the merger goes through, WWE will largely remain autonomous, with Endeavor noting back they plan to run the UFC playbook with WWE. TKO. So watch those WWE shareholder accounts on Twitter go ahead and change their name to TKO. I'm already expecting it. Meanwhile, there was a report coming out about the ending of Dark and Dark Elevation. The decision reported by PW Insider stated that the canceling of these shows have made AEW TV tapings easier to work with, and yeah, apparently the positive reception was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it was a good idea. Plus, we have Rampage to fill the void a little bit more, so yeah, that's what the thing is. Also, Nick Khan on Wednesday, May 17th, had a all-hands-on-deck meeting in the afternoon of May 17th with Nick Khan leading it. The meeting was another one of the company's rah-rah sessions to boost morale and tell everyone how great things are in the company, as well as a chance for management to express their appreciation for everyone's hard work. There has been no mention of possible impending cuts and no big announcements were made. Cuts are expected to take place after the merger happens, with Nick Khan previously revealing that cuts would be aggressive. The cuts aren't expected to affect the talent roster or any part of the company's TV product, just the office kind of cuts. So while that has happened, I also am also that guy that likes, we gotta watch Nick Khan and see what he says, but yeah. Also, remember how I mentioned Roman Reigns is set to work less dates this year, apparently, according to a report? Well, Work Wrestling also had to reveal that a pitch has been made to discuss Money in the Bank, where Roman would no doubt win Money in the Bank contract, right? Okay, well, let's be real. That's a stupid idea just from the perspective alone, but would you really be surprised if he thought that? No, you wouldn't have. So, no, WWE is not doing that dumb idea, though don't be surprised if they think about it. Apparently the plan for Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa currently pitched to them is to fight the Usos and push Roman Reigns' title reign as undisputed Universal Champion of the world, of the cosmos, in God mode, another month. So that will be a total of 3 freaking pay-per-views where Roman is not defending his legendary 1,000+ day reign. And they're gonna set the bloodline to implode at Money in the Bank. I know Money in the Bank is considered one of the big 5 now, but like, this will be the third pay-per-view in 3 months in a row where Roman did not defend the title. God damn it, man. But, yeah. That had happened, much to everyone's anger. But, yeah. That had happened, and I was annoyed with that. So let's talk about CM Punk and AEW, right? After all that, we get to our cream de la crop. So, before we get to the Collision stuff that happened, it's revealed that the Elite did talk about CM Punk on AEW All Access, according to, Dave Meltzer. But apparently these interviews were edited out from the final product after all this, saying they did interviews, they talked about it, they never mentioned Punk's name because they weren't allowed to mention his name, but they did interviews to beat around the bush of the story. But even that was edited out because of fear of legal reprisal. The biggest issue is unnecessary Tony, and isn't most of the guys, it is the legal threats, and because of what those are, Pony is playing it very careful to the point that no one's mentioning it. On the reality show, CM Punk's name was never mentioned once. I knew they would never talk about the thing, but they didn't even allude to anything close to it. So, yeah, due to the ongoing legal issues, the last word we heard, they're still banned from talking to each other due to those legal issues. At least one person involved in the brawl is willing to apologize. The CM Punk is willing to do the same is unknown, though there has been saying that he's willing to work with them, so an apology could be up on that table. We just need Tony Khan and everyone else to go ahead and be like, okay, we gotta have this big meeting. We gotta do what those guys at Wrestling Park did. Because damn it, I can't take this stuff anymore, damn it. Andrew Zarian also sold it on the We're Live Pal podcast, revealing that, as far as I know, Punk's return will be announced most likely tomorrow, Wednesday, May 17th. If not tomorrow, then very, very soon within the coming days. That did not happen. Because, even though they mentioned that, Warner Bros. Discovery even emailed a press release to the media outlets that mentioned CM Punk as a headliner to Collision. The link took outlets to the actual press release that didn't mention Punk and had 4 aforementioned talents. And Comic Book Corner Casey reached out and saying, and Warner Bros. Discovery decided to say that CM Punk is not affiliated with TNT's Collision, fueling speculation about Punk's future. In an update with Fightful Select, there are still plans for Punk, and there were active content plans for Punk as of this week. Punk was included in the press release announcing the launch of Collision until earlier today when he was removed. So there's a possibility they were working the fans just to get more hype on that, but something happened because Punk really doesn't want to work it out. Well, less working out, more like he's afraid, like he doesn't want to get run over again, basically, in wrestling. But I'll get to that in a sec. CM Punk is now at odds with AEW, allegedly again, over the potential Ace Steel return, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. PW Insider has since reported that Punk and AEW are at odds with each other over the potential return of Ace Steel. The former producer was expected to make his return to the Barossa with CM Punk in June, but the word backstage at Dynamite's taping is that it was decided that Steel would not be working backstage at tapings of Collision. But after that, CM Punk decided to go on Instagram and rant and fucking lose it. CM Punk has called out Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer newsletter and reports about his AEW status. saying this: "Look, everyone, Brian Alvarez doesn't like it when misinformed internet trolls make up rumors about him, so please stop making rumors and stories for clicks while Brian makes up rumors and stories for clicks, okay? He's married, for God's sake, but by God, the man has a family. Brian Alvarez, shut the F up, and stop talking about me, challenge day one." The 44-year-old then posted a screenshot of what appeared to be an email from Brian Alvarez to an unknown recipient, in which Alvarez stated that he does not and has never had an issue with Punk. David Bixpin has stated the email in question is actually from 2009 and 10. Punk then added, "Friendly reminder, I haven't been on TV in 9 months and y'all still can't just stop talking to me. Maybe stop, you'll feel better. Love, hate, it's all the same. I don't enjoy being the sole person that props up an entire misinformed clickbait industry based on toxic gossip from lying sources. But what can you do? When you're the king, it comes with the crown." This latest rant from Punk was posted after reports stated that he was once again at odds with AEW, this time with a potential return of Ace Steel. However, WBD is hopeful for a reconciliation between the two promotions, according to Dave Meltzer, so really take this with salt. And then further details came out about the issue that Fightful Select revealing that a match graphic for Samoa Joe and CM Punk were created and that they were going to announce the second coming in the United Center. In the latest update, Fightful Select has reported Chris Jericho brought up the possibility of Ace Steel returning to the meet during his meeting with Punk, with the idea that everyone working together might elevate the backstage tension within the promotion. So the meeting took place earlier that week, during which it was made clear that Steel could return and work directly with the two-time champion, but the former producer would not be allowed to attend AEW taping. Punk allegedly did not agree with that. Despite the breakdown in relations, Warner Bros. Discovery is reportedly hopeful that they can work out the issues. But in another update from House of Wrestling, has reported that Ace Steel was in fact rehired by AEW months ago and has been working with Tony Khan Creative, but it was made clear that his presence on TV tapings would upset some of the talent. I can't imagine why. It could be because he bit someone's arm, threw a steel chair at another guy's head who's an EVP during a fight, and then bit Kenny Omega's arm because he rescued a dog. I'm a hero, everybody. So he had been working for several months. Steel has been working remotely for the past few months as a result, but then there was reportedly an understanding that Steel would return his role as the backstage agent once Collision debuted. On Tuesday, May 16th, though, AEW decided that he would not be returned to the role, and Punk found out there was some miscommunication between lawyers, and subsequently Punk was pulled from the Collision announcement. It was indicated on May 18th that Warner Bros. Discovery is hopeful for the reconciliation, and the situation looks to be moving in that direction. House of Wrestling say that it appears Punk is motivated and wants to help AEW grow in any way he can. The 44-year-old's relationship with Tony Khan is also believed to be in sound footing. Communication line remains open between the two. So yeah, this has been a massive clusterfuck. Like, oh my god. Okay. I don't care what Tony Khan has to do at this point. I don't care. I don't care if you have to get the lawyers. I don't care if you have to start strangling people at this point. But I am demanding we end this crap. I'm not even asking the Elite and Punk to be buddies for forever and ever. You can work one goddamn match. Say sorry to every single fucking person affected by this whole stuff. And I don't care if Tony Khan has to hire a bunch of ninjas or the FBI or the CIA to kidnap all of them in their sleep and then bring them into this meeting saying, we're working this out right now. I am Tony Khan, damn it, and I run this company, not all of you. So as you can tell, I'm royally pissed off at this point. And then Eric Bischoff comes out and says Hulk Hogan did this horrible stuff, but Punk is worse. And I was like, oh, you fucking kidding me, Bischoff? You're really? Okay, I wrote this on Twitter when Bischoff said that on his podcast, because damn it, I don't know what the hell was going through his head when he thought that was a great idea. But this is what I said. Hogan, racist, apathetic towards hurricane victims, destroyed a company, crippled another, was given creative control, refused to put over people unless someone higher than him made him. An ego so big that someone could jump off of it and crash straight into their consciousness. Punk has a prideful ego, did business even when he didn't agree. is willing to do business with people he don't like, willing to say sorry. That's what was reported. Had a life that no doubt caused his combative mindset and can't be a jerk to people when pushed. Bischoff, Punk is clearly worse. And I'm just that guy that's facepalming myself, wondering what the hell is wrong with everybody. So as you can see, I'm really fucking done. But, let's fucking finish this. AEW Fight Forever. The game known as AEW Wait Forever. AEW, oh my god, why is it taking so goddamn long? AEW Fight, oh my god, will GCW stop doing some distraction? No. AEW Fight Forever. Finally, as of today, Monday, May 22nd, around 9 a.m., finally announced that game will be released on Thursday, June 29th. Let's fucking go! When Kenny Omega came out, the creative director said, "When I first signed with AEW, Tony Khan gave me the opportunity to assemble the best gaming team that understands and respects professional wrestling, to make the best wrestling games ever. Thanks to our incredible collaboration with Geta, Ukes, and THQ Nordic, a new era of professional wrestling gaming is quickly approaching. AEW Fight Forever has exceeded my highest expectations, and I'm confident that June 29th will be a momentous day for wrestling fans and gamers alike." Reading the press release that came out, I also got it. AEW, with announcing the launch of Fight Forever, they touted the retro approach to design, including handcrafted animations and nostalgic arcade feel. The game will feature a career mode, multiplayer, and multiple customizations modes. Match types also include singles match, tag team, 3-way, 4-way, ladder matches, casino battle royale, falls count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out match, exploding barbed wire death matches, because we need to go crazy. Oh, and Molotov cocktails, because Kenny Omega had to somehow set fire to that. Damn. So yeah, finally, after all this time, we're finally getting the game. I'm excited, I'm hyped, I want to do it, I want to play this game, I want to do some ATW game night hopefully down the road with my buddies from ATW. Let's hope that works out. But yeah, finally God damn, it's finally happening. I was hyped when I heard this, and here's the thing, I was watching some of the clips of the trailer that came out, and I noticed something. When Kenny Omega was doing his Terminator Taunton dive, and when he crashed into his opponent in the video game footage, the barricade security rail actually moved up, like it broke apart when Kenny Omega collided. And I thought, okay, that's a freaking awesome detail. Wait, why doesn't WWE do that actually in their games? Like, I know they use strong barricades, but like, they have the option to make the arena custom arenas you can make with security guardrails. I would love it if they actually allowed us to mess with the guardrail and use it as a weapon. Oh, those were the days. Heck, we even managed to fight in the crowd back in like what? WWF SmackDown Just Bring It. Remember those days? And here comes the pain where we could fight in the crowd and grab weapons from the crowd of fans that somehow brought a kendo stick. I'm still questioning the validity of that, but still. They don't do that like they used to, damn it. But, yeah. We finally did it, everybody. We made it. We made it through this week in this episode. I'm hoping for the best of AEW, Collision, CM Punk, and the tribalism nonsense needs to stop. God damn it. I'm excited for Fight Forever. Can Roman Reigns drop the titles now after 1,000 days? And we can move forward with our lives in wrestling fandom? And can Tribalists please shut the fuck up when they go crazy? And I'm talking about both WWE and AEW Tribalism and other Tribalist companies. God. So yeah, I was really annoyed with some stuff that came out this week. I've reached my breaking point a little bit. Not as bad as Brawlout week when Clash of the Castle and Brawlout happened, and then all the insanity that came out from that. But it's pretty high up there. So anyways, this was your host of NRE Wrestlverse Podcast, Eric Brown of Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE the Wrestleverse, Neo Reality Collective, Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content, and stay tuned for more. I'll see you all again next time. And I just want to give you a quick announcement for the YouTube side of things, that finally this podcast is now on multiple platforms now. After some issues with initial hosting services I was using, I had to move to another service to get this working, but it's finally out and it's ready to go. Let's fucking go. Peace out, take care, and have a good day.